Good evening. Hello, everyone. I feel like it's going to be hot. I do apologize for my tardiness. As you can see, my setup is a little bit different. And I feel like this light is going to have me hot. So I do apologize. Just give me one sec. Okay. Okay. I'm really excited to react to this video with you guys because this is the frequency that I'm on. And it's like me and Lauren London right now, we are just sharing that experience. And I'm really excited to talk about this because um, I've kind of been MIA in these streets on here in the YouTube space. And it's because nothing has really been moving me, but this interview, it moved me. Thank you, Themis. He is always showing love. Okay. Let me go ahead and play my intro and then I'll be back. Wait a minute. Wait, where's my intro? Okay, I'm going to play my intro and then I'll be back. Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Alrighty. I'm just pulling up the video here. Okay. So if you did not know, Lauren London did an interview, and since the passing of Nipsey Hussle, she really hasn't done that many interviews. I think she's very particular about doing interviews now, which I don't blame her because I don't know what it's like to lose somebody close to me, not even really a family member. I am more terrified about grief than I am death, if that makes sense, simply because I've never really experienced grief where I knew the person from like a daily basis type of loss. I've dealt with grief from like, extended family, but never grief that directly impacted my daily routine. And that scares, I'm trying not to cuss. That scares me. So when I watch this, I'm like, oh my God, I actually do not fear death. Like, I don't fear dying, but I definitely fear grief. Grieving someone that impacted my life on a daily basis. So she kind of gave us, some enlightenment on that because honestly, like that scares me. Okay, let me pull it up. Oh, she's a Saggy. I can see that. I can see that. Okay, she's a Saggy. Let me blow it up. So she went on the podcast. It's called IRL, I believe that's the name of the podcast, but it's by Angie Martinez. And they did a sit down and they talked about it, just a bunch of different stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the video. I'm drinking coffee, y'all. It's not spiked, just regular coffee. Okay, let me pull it up.
Angie Martinez in Real Life podcast. Chapter 1, we're all gonna die. Lauren London was the first person on my brain when I thought about having this podcast because of a couple of reasons. Number one, I think she's super dope. I think you're super dope. And also, I think there's a lot to learn from you. Are you weirded out by talking and doing interviews and sharing just what your life has been like?
Not to you. And I guess I'm kind of like learning how to do that in this new space because I'm learning so much about myself now and I've changed so much. So like talking from this space, it's new. So I'm not talking a lot.
You haven't done a lot at all.
No.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Honestly, in talking to people, I just want to be intentional and I want it to be a safe space because then what am I saying for real?
Yeah, and there's so many not safe spaces now because everybody's talking. There's a podcast everywhere. There's an interview show, there's a radio show everywhere and people are competing. So they tend to
clickbait.
Yeah, they want clickbait and just what the intentions are. Like, the intentions are not always that.
Which it brings me to a question that I would like to ask you guys. Do you guys feel like I create a safe space on here? Because if you don't feel like it, please comment why. Because I would like to know. I take constructive criticism. I don't see the point of this platform if you don't feel like you're safe. What's the point of this page? Okay, y'all feel safe? Okay, cool. Y'all feel safe? Yay. Okay, cool. Because if you didn't feel safe, I'm like, well, why don't you feel safe?
Which is one of the reasons I wanted to do this. I really wanted to have conversations with people because I need inspiration just like everybody else does. And I really wanted to talk to people that I could get good energy from, share good energy with, and then put that out in the world. So that was one of the reasons. But then when I told you the name, I was a little nervous. I was like,
you were.
I was nervous because when you've experienced so much, I feel like I want to be sensitive to you. But then I thought to myself, is that like annoying to her that everyone would want to treat you with kid gloves or be sensitive or treat you differently? Like that has to be a big thing in the past couple of years.
It's been a big thing. I really am grateful for it when it's genuine. I don't really like when it's pity. I feel when it's pity. I feel when it's like, I couldn't imagine going through that. Like that, no one ever wants to feel like their particular situation is like the worst thing anyone else could imagine because then it makes you feel so isolated in your human experience. Yeah. You kind of want to feel like, I don't want to say normal, but like it's okay and that other people could be going through something too. Yeah. So I do feel the pity makes me feel pitiful. But I do appreciate when people are sensitive because there are days where I'm like, I don't want to no, please be sensitive with me. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it's like it depends on the person and their intention with me.
I think sometimes people don't even mean it. It's even like we know somebody's going through something right now, the way people, especially in death, right? Like the way we treat people. We go to a funeral, everybody's like, doesn't know what to say. And people.
We don't have death etiquette.
There is no death etiquette.
Humans do not know how to, we just don't know because it's like the most foreign concept to us, but the most common.
Okay, I wanted to talk about this because before therapy, I struggled with intimacy. When someone is being, well, it used to be when someone was being like emotional with me and we were sharing an emotional experience, I did not know how to be. I didn't know what my position should be. Like, I didn't know how to place myself. So it made me very awkward. It made me just feel like I was out of place. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this. So I understand, and I'm glad she is being very transparent about, grief and how you should be, because I don't know how to be in that space with someone. I mean, when you've never experienced grief directly, it hasn't really directly impacted you. I think sometimes you just don't know how to be. And it's not that you're not trying to be, because you're trying to be, but you don't know what to be because you don't know if that person wants you to be, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, well, I feel strange. I feel out of place. But at the same time, I don't want that person that I care about to feel neglected. Am I the only one that it makes me feel uncomfortable? And then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, my childhood trauma is to run, to get out, right? Because it makes me uncomfortable. But then, like, my heart is telling me to stay because, well, I don't want this person to feel like I don't care about them, you know? So I'm glad she had this conversation, because when it comes to grief or just like those intense emotional settings, sometimes I don't know how to be. And I'm glad she said that she didn't really like pity, she liked compassion. And so that made me like really reflect, like, dang, do I go around giving people pity, or am I truly a compassionate person? So now I'm going to be more self-aware of that. But like, this was a great interview. I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make sure, you know, I'm self-reflecting on my behavior when it comes to these spaces that I share with others, because I don't know, it's like it's different to hear it come from the opposing side, and just I don't know, it just gives you a different perspective. So now when I'm in these spaces with people, I'll know how to be, or it's really sounding like we should just ask, you know, like, are you okay? What would you like for me to do? And you know what? It's okay to not know what you would like for me to do, but just know that I'm here. It's like I finally have something I can say and I know how to say it. Whereas before I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. I'm stressed. This is too much. Get me out of here. I'm a run. I'm a runner. I'm a runner. But I'm trying to like plant my feet now and stay and, you know, be supportive.
And it's inevitable for every single person.
You're going to die.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no way out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a funeral, and the thought of it feels like a fantasy, but it's real. You know what I mean? But I just don't think that we know how to die or accept death, and then we don't know how to usher people in that transition either.
Yeah. What can you teach people about that? Have experienced with the experience that you had? Like, what was there anything that comes to mind that you're like, hey, maybe try this?
You know, I think just sitting with someone, I felt like the people that came to just like be with me. And sometimes I think just holding space, it's hard for us because when your friend or someone you love is going through something, you naturally want to fix it. And this is not something to fix. It's something to go through with someone. So you just roll with them. You sit with them. You hold space for them. You hug them. You feed them. You know, maybe not try to say something that will make them feel better, because it's really nothing that'll make them feel better.
And it's not really on you to do.
No,
yeah, right.
it's not on you. Just hold the space for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just be there. That really helped me a lot too.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if you guys have been here this long, but like, I think it was the Steph Co situation. And it was a live that I did, but I deleted it because it was a hot mess. And I did not feel confident leaving it up because I didn't want people to think that I was talking bad about her or down on her or whatever like that. But I'm glad Lauren said it. She said, I didn't want someone to fix it. And I'm a fixer. I don't know about you guys. I am really big on being a fixer, finding a solution. We have to find a solution, right? But that experience, that live stream, and then having that interview with Stephanie, it made me realize, like, you can't fix everything. And I have the mindset, like, yes, you can. Like, you can find a solution. You can do something, clearly. I had that mindset really, really bad. And so when I walked away from the experience of that live stream, I'm like, reading the comments, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't understand. Like, I'm like, what do you mean we can't fix this? I'm very solution-based oriented. I don't know where I get that from. It's really, really a bad habit. But some things you cannot fix. And that really I think that plays into like my control issues that I have, because I have perfectionism I have perfectionist issues as well. So it's just like, yeah, you can't fix it. You can't. There are some things in this world that you cannot fix. And I think a lot of people may be uncomfortable with that, similar to myself, because I am like, I don't know. I feel like when you can't fix something, it's almost like you gave up. And I don't know why I have that mindset. So I'm glad she said that, because I don't know. I'm the type of person where I'm like Big Mom. I'm like, I can fix it. We can work. We just take the shirt off my back. We'll find a solution. Like, I don't know. I'm always like that. But there are some things that you can't fix. There are just some things that you cannot change. And I'm coming to the realization about that. But it's like, but then what? Like, when you can't fix something, then she's like, you have to work through it.
It's, one of the reasons I felt like, when we spoke briefly about this about a couple of years ago, I had a car accident and I had some loss in my family, and it shifted how I look at life. And I thought, before that year, I thought I knew everything. I'm spiritual.
Girl, I done read every book and can tell you all the books.
Right. But so when I got rocked like that, it made me realize, oh, you don't know everything, and you're actually doing some things wrong, and you're going to be uncomfortable while you're trying to figure out how to fix it. And so I think I fixed a lot of things. And I think sometimes it takes trauma or it takes tragedy to shift you that way. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I thought about this podcast. But the truth is, why do we wait till somebody dies to think, oh, I got to live every day? Yeah. Oh, life is short. My time is. We should be reminded of that all the time, because.
Well, I think the pain. I think we have fear of people dying, so we don't want to face it yet until it's in our face. So to already have to, you don't.
But whether you have fear or not, it's going to happen.
Yeah, but you don't know till it's at your front door. I always say the front row at the funeral is different. When you have to sit on, like, I've been at a lot of funerals.
I bet.
I've never sat front row at one. That's different.
What does that do to you?
Shift your perspective on life. You know what I mean? Make you see not only that is life short, but that it's a gift, and because everyone's time is so different, what am I doing with this gift? Like, oh man, I need to accept all of it, even the ugly, because it is really a gift, this experience. It's a karmic experience. And that's another thing I used to hear about and not know nothing about it. You know what I mean?
You have to tell me, because you've done a lot more work in that space.
No, so
I really haven't. That's one where you were like with healers and all that. I haven't really got into that.
Well, you're your own.
Do y'all want to talk about karmic experiences? Okay. Let's talk about it. This is a spiritual, esoteric space, I'm assuming. So, because Lauren is leading, the space right now. So karmic experiences are things that happen to you and you feel like it was not deserving. You don't know why it happened. You don't know why it's happening to you, right? And I used to say, oh, I'm cursed. This was before I've had, I don't know how many spiritual awakenings, but I'm like, why am I cursed? Why is God cursing me? Like, why am I cursed? And I would ask myself, am I cursed? You go through karmic experiences, but the karmic experiences are to teach you things that you need to know. Okay. It's like this guiding tool that spirit will use to guide you along your path. And sometimes it hurts. It sucks. It feels like punishment. It feels like God forgot about you. It feels like spirit or whoever you believe in just forgot about you, just left you out. And then you get into your ego, right? And you're like, why is this happening to me? I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know how many times I would like get on my knees and ask that question. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, why is this happening to me? Right. And then over time, because I've been on a spiritual journey for a while now, over time, I started realizing like, okay, all of these karmic things, situations happen to me for a reason. And as your spiritual journey strengthens, right, it's almost like you're able to see the map, or you're able to see that, okay, all of these things that happen are pieces to a big puzzle. And eventually you're going to get to a point where it all makes sense. It may not make sense to you now. And listen, karmic lessons could be death. It could be birth. It could be birthing a child out of wedlock, for those wondering. It could be I hate to say it, but an abusive relationship that you had to somehow find the strength to leave. It could be a toxic marriage. It could be a bunch of different things. And you will ask yourself, why me? You'll come to that. But over time, I'm telling you, like, if you continue with your spiritual journey, you continue to do the work, right? Which is basically giving into change, giving into accountability, giving into learning your self-worth, right? I think you'll get to a level where it'll eventually just all make sense. So it's a process though, and a lot of people are not patient. I know I wasn't. I'm like, I want what I want now. Like, I don't want to go through all these karmic lessons. But then I look back on different stages in my life and I'm like, but I really wasn't ready for those things that I was asking for. But the karmic lessons that I had that led me to what I asked for actually prepared me for what I was asking for. So can I really be mad? Can I really be ashamed of my mistakes? Can I really have regret when it comes to certain things that I've done in my life? No, because they taught me so many things that I needed in order to prepare me for what I was asking for.
Healer,
Space.
you might not need to, everyone, the path to it is all different as long as you get to the end of it. You know what I mean? You might not need to do all that or have to do all that to find that healer within yourself. I needed guidance, heavy guidance.
Still now.
Yeah.
What has been the best thing you've learned from that or that it's given you?
One of the greatest things I've learned that I'm still learning is that like food really helps with depression.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm an emotional eater, so my weight fluctuates.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get sad and want to eat a Twix or like pizza and stuff like that. But it would make me more depressed.
It's so funny that Twix is your
I love Twix.
your go-to.
But then I learned that when I ate like higher vibrational foods, I wasn't so down. I wasn't so deep in my depression. So that's one of the things that I'm still trying to apply. And just that like healing is such a up and down experience. Like it's not just like shoo, and then I'm gonna become a fairy godmother and fly away.
Right.
Like,
I'm healed. I'm fine.
No.
And then forever you're healed and fine.
No, I don't know if that's for anyone.
Yeah.
I've just learned that it does go up and down, and sometimes the shadow work is like that. To me, shadow work is really,
What is that?
So it's just like digging deep into your ego self and why you either have envy.
Okay, for those wondering, I'm an ex-emotional eater, and I say ex-emotional eater because I'm not claiming that. But like, I know when I'm going through something or battling something emotionally because I will ping pong between a 10-pound gain versus a 10-pound loss. So basically, let me explain it, right? Where I gain 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds. And I just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And when I'm doing good, 10 pounds gone. When I'm doing like my emotions are on a higher level or whatever like that, or they're just out of whack or whatever like that, I'm 10 pounds heavier. And I just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? So eating higher vibrational food is basically foods that don't trigger your that don't trigger or feed into cravings or like a sugar addiction and things like that. So a Twix would trigger sugar addiction. If you eat sugar, then it's going to trigger you to eat more and overeat or overconsume. But if you were to choose something more healthier, like, I don't know, like a salad or something like that, it's not going to trigger you to be low vibrational by giving into, sugar addictions or sugar cravings and things like that. So I don't know. It's just something about that. But she's right though. Like if you eat the salad, which is lighter for you, it makes you feel better. But if you go for the sugar, I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's because I've been on this journey for years now, but whenever I eat lower vibrational food that I would eat before I went on like a whole healthy journey or whatever like that, I get real sleepy, tired, bloated. Whenever I eat bread, oh my God, I feel so bloated. And then I just feel bigger. And I don't like that. Versus if I was to eat how I would normally eat, it would just be like, oh, nothing, no after effects. But when I eat bad or just super heavy food, sometimes I feel actual physically sick. So it just depends. Everybody's gonna be different. Like I can't do a bunch of fried food. Fried food makes me that grease, it just makes me nauseous. But everyone is gonna be different.
Or why you have feeling to compare yourself to others, or why do you feel depression. So digging into that shadow work, that dark side of your other self, that's hard to face, right?
Yeah.
Because and then I was really big on judgment. Like I could look like they don't need to that. Yeah. And then
when you think you have it all together, you're very quick to be like, I would never do that.
I was so good. Like, I would never, I'm not judging a soul no more. Because I just realized in my shadow work that my judgment of them was my judgment of myself. It was just really my harsh judgment on myself. I didn't give myself no slack. But it appeared that it was that judgment on others.
I feel like that too. And that's one of my things. It's like, even if you're going through something, why we got to be heavy about it? I'm always like, whenever I want to talk about this, but I don't want to be heavy or heady or like preachy or soapboxy. I hate a soapbox.
Yeah. No, but I'm deeper than the earth. Like we can go all. I'm dramatic too, so I'm like, we can go all the way. Nip used to say that, like, you are deeper than the earth. God damn, like.
But wasn't he though?
Yeah, hell yeah,
he had a lot of nerve.
He was like a highly spiritual, intelligent person. Like he was all into space and stuff like that. I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that is that I feel like I know, and I hate this about it, but I feel like I got to know him so much more, like a lot of people did, after he was gone.
That just means his purpose lives on. You know what I mean? That just means his purpose did not leave with the body, that the spirit just kept moving.
But what the whole world saw and kind of fell in love with, or fell deeper in love with after.
Yeah.
You were living that.
Yeah, I think, but here's the thing, when someone leaves their body, then they become like ultra human. I was living with a human. Man.
So he was not perfect.
No.
He was not this perfect, like,
who is
doing the right thing, but all the time.
No one is, but he had good intentions. And I think that we are really, intention is so important. We're really like kind of, our lives are based on like our daily intentions. He had really good intentions. He really meant well.
And he was doing great work.
Yeah.
What he was doing was not light work.
He loved for people to be at a high level. Like he was not a hater. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I tell y'all all the time, focus on people's intentions, the intent behind why they do what they do. Because if you don't, then you are super judgmental. And you shouldn't be, because I'm assuming that you're that way with yourself. If you focus on people's intentions behind why they do what they do, it's going to change your perception on just life in general. And I'm learning that. Like I used to be super judgmental of everyone. And then I realized I had an ego death. I tell y'all this all the time. I had an ego death where no one knows it all, and it's okay not to know it all, but everyone is going to come on the internet and make it seem like they have it all figured out, but they really don't. And when you come to this realization that no one has it figured out, you start to focus in on people's intent behind what they do, because people feel like they know the way, but they really don't. They just going off of what someone else has said or what someone else has told them. But at the end of the day, we are all here just trying to figure it out together at the same time. We may be at different timelines or frequencies or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, like no one has all the answers. And for you to put that judgment on someone else, that means you put that same judgment on yourself, which is not realistic. So now I kind of live life like, I have my boundaries, I have my morals, I have my principles, and I understand that not everyone has those same morals and principles as I do, but at the same time, like I give space and grace and just room for people to grow. I think that is important. And I try to focus more on their intentions than what they're actually doing, because I've done dumb stuff. You know what I mean? I've done stuff. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like I've done stupid stuff. I've done stuff where I'm like, why would you do that? if we're all here trying to better ourselves, well, we have a starting point and we all have a different starting point. So because we all have a different starting point, how can I crucify this person to death? Like, it just does not make sense. So I try to focus on people's intentions. Like, even if you have kids, your kids are going to do stupid stuff, right? And you try to zero in on their intentions, and once you zero in on that, I think you give people room to grow. You give people room to grow. You give people room to make mistakes. But you know what else you do? You give yourself room to grow. You give yourself room to make mistakes. And I think you're not as worried and you're not as judgmental and you don't have anxiety as much and you don't worry as bad. Like, I don't know. It's just it's different. It's very, very different. So I just hold space for people to fall short. Because I hold space for myself to fall short. We're all going to fall short, even if you don't want to.
And so he wasn't really he wasn't someone that operated out of his ego in that space when it came to other people.
Sometimes when people pass early, there's signs of it earlier. This might be a little weird, but then there's some that you never would expect.
No, I thought Hustle was Superman. He'll live forever. Really? I thought I was going to go first.
Really?
I would always ask questions like, what are you going to do when I die? Like, I was always so morbid.
You would think that? You would think that?
I thought I was going to die early in my 20s. Because I don't know, I had these like crazy dreams growing up. So, but then I had Cameron and I was like, I guess I'm not going to pass early. I just never, growing up, I didn't have such an attachment to Earth. Uh-huh. This sounds weird.
Yeah, no, but please. Okay. I like it.
I was a little weird. I didn't have an attachment.
There's no wrong answers here.
Okay, I didn't have an attachment to Earth.
Because you were a unicorn.
I was a unicorn. Yes. I don't know what the fuck I was, but I didn't have an attachment. And then I had my first son. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll be here a little longer. And then life.
Who can relate to this? Please come to the front. Who can relate to this? Come to the front. Put the alien emoji in the box, in the chat box. Listen, when she said this, I said, oh my God, I feel so seen. I've never felt this seen before in my life. When I say, like, I really don't feel like I'm from here, and I know, like, people be like, oh, you sound so weird. I am weird. That's why I don't feel like I'm from here. That's the problem. That is my point. I get stereotyped to be things that I'm not. And it's just like, I don't relate to the things that people stereotype me to be. And, like, I like to be by myself and people think I don't like them. I'm like, girl, I like you, but I actually enjoy my own energy more. And it has nothing to do with you. It's just, I like being by myself. I don't know. And then, I grew up in a family where being alone and enjoying it, they think something wrong with you. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me though. Like, I'm perfectly fine. But here in planet Earth, you have to be with somebody. If you are not with somebody, do you not understand that they label you something wrong? Something gotta be wrong with her. Really? Or is it that I enjoy my own company? I don't understand that. I don't understand. I just talked about this yesterday on my Instagram. I literally watched this interview probably about like 4 hours ago. I just watched this full interview. And I was like, I just talked about this on my Instagram. So I'm about to pull up my Instagram so I can show y'all what I was talking about. Hopefully it's still up. I don't know if it is, but hopefully it is. Let me see. Because I came to the realization, and this is why I've been off YouTube, because I'm just like, I don't even know how to show up on here, right? I was mentoring a Russian woman from Russia. She was white, right? Well, Russian people are white, right? And she was just telling me like all the stuff that she has gone through in her life. She's 35 years old. She's divorced. And she was just telling me her relationship issues and problems and things like that. And I'm like, dang, like this sounds like some stuff that we as Black women be going through, And I don't know, ever since I uploaded my Roe versus Wade video, I've been getting emails from non-Black women about their marriages, their family dynamic and things like that. And I said on my Instagram, I said that the only difference between non-Black women and Black women is like we're so open and outspoken about things that we deal with versus other women and non-Black women. They are conditioned to save face, and we're more conditioned to be outspoken. We're more conditioned to let it be known, you know, and they are conditioned to be quiet about it. Like they have private conversations with their friends. They'll email me, girl, but they say face about a lot of the issues that they deal with their men. So when I say I stopped coming on here to YouTube because I felt so strongly like, yeah, Black women be open-minded, date out, and you know, get a non-Black man. You know, why not? Open your options. Black men are not loyal to you, so you shouldn't be loyal to them, right? And by me doing that, and then by me having these like experiences, I didn't feel so confident saying it anymore because I'm just like, why don't we push the message that it is okay to be by yourself? Why is that not an option? See, I have prospects, right? I have prospects. It's not hard to get a man's attention, okay? But why can't I be a prospect? Like, why can't I feel like I'm pretty amazing? You know what I mean? And so I'm like, well, why can't I be a prospect? Why do I have to choose a man? You know, like I started thinking like this, and I know I sound ridiculous, right? Because let's face it, and I said this on my Instagram story. I said, majority of women that follow me want a man, right? But what if I told you the only way that you could escape the oppression from this patriarchy system that we live in as a woman, not just as a Black woman, but just as a woman in general, it is to be by yourself. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to be by yourself because at every freaking turn in this society, in this patriarchy system that we live in, it tells you that you have to be with someone, right? And so I decided that I wasn't going to come back on here because I'm like, I don't even know what to tell them, because the reality is, if you really are trying to escape oppression from men, it's to be single. But nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. White women are not that vocal. White women will take a pension plan. White women will take a life insurance plan. White women will take a bunch of different things. A house, cars, investments, stuff like that. So, Black women, though, we take things and we don't get anything from it. You know, like we deal with things, but we don't get anything from it. I think that's why we're more vocal. But the more I have conversations with other women, I'm just like, that's crazy. So I don't know. What if I told you that in order for you to guarantee that you are not oppressed, right, it is to be single? How would you feel about that? Just a question. It is just a question. I think emotional abuse and financial abuse is, I don't think that has anything to do with feminism or feminists. I think it has everything to do with you're a human being, humility maybe, but not feminism. Somebody being emotionally abusive and financially abusive, I think that matters too. So I don't know. Let me pull it up though. Let me see. Can I pull it up? It's gone. I can't show it. But that's basically what I was saying was, I don't understand why we don't push being alone and being okay with that. I don't get that. We enjoy your quiet space because, you know, I just want women to know, you know, I think it's great if you can get out here and you can find somebody, it's great. But do I feel like you should force it? No. I want women to know that, you know, you could date white, you could date Black, but at the end of the day, if it comes down to your peace and your happiness, It's okay to choose yourself. Okay? Like, don't forget on your lineup of prospects, right? Like you have this guy, he's great, and then you have this guy and he's great, and you have this other guy over here and he's great, right? But always remember you have yourself. And you're great too. And it's okay to be like, you know what? He just not cutting it. You know, he not really cutting it either, and he's not really cutting it. But I got myself though. And I'm amazing. And you know, I'm okay with choosing her. You know what I mean? So I just want that to be an option. And that's why I had to disconnect from YouTube, because I'm like, why don't we ever make that a choice? Why do we always put ourselves in this box and we're like, oh, we gotta choose this man? It's like, no, you don't. No, you really don't. No, you don't. You can choose yourself and just be happy. But it's a choice though. Like you got to reprogram your mind. You got to reprogram how you were raised and how to think. You know, like choosing yourself is an option. You are a prospect within your lineup. I just had to get that off my chest. And also another thing is focus on who you would focus on the men that you attract and stop focusing on the men that you don't attract. Because I think if you focus on the men that you attract, you're the prize. But when you put so much focus on the men that you do not attract, you instantly become an option to them. And you're not an option to nobody. You know what I mean? So focus on the men that you attract, right? Make them your option and stop making yourself an option by caring about men who are not attracted to you or you don't attract. All right, let's continue. I'm sorry, I got really chatty there.
Then like good things started to happen. It could have been my trauma that I was just like over life.
Yeah.
And then good things started to happen to me. And I was like, oh, I like life. It's cool. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I always have these, I ask people hella morbid questions. I don't anymore because it just got too real.
Yeah.
But I used to ask hella.
Tell me one.
Like, oh, I want this song to be played at my funeral.
Oh, you would think about that a lot.
Girl. And then one time I was in the car thinking about it and the damn song played. And on the radio, I was like, let me stop thinking about this type of shit because I could be willing this shit into my life.
That's what I wondered. And even when I named this, I was worried about, like, if I say that all the time, does that bring it? I'm like, no, because my intention is really, it's not about that. It's about life. It's about just reminding ourselves that our time here is limited.
Yeah.
And so then once I kind of came to grips with that, then I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm not willing because you.
No, you're not willing.
I'm not willing that.
No,
right? Okay.
no. I think you're giving out information and you're also making people comfortable with a topic that we
don't ever face until it's too late or until it's
we're not prepared. We're not prepared.
And then there's a whole other thing about it that we're not prepared for just in dealing with it. Like
it's the 3 years. It's the 3 years later for me that.
I just wanted to say really quickly here, because somebody said we're told that we die alone. Everybody dies alone. Everybody leaves here by themselves. Everybody. You, me, your mama, your daddy, your best friend. Everybody dies alone. So death and people saying that, it does not scare me. You know, fear-mongering Black women, it is a business. I mean, it is a multi-billion-dollar business. And you know how you can beat that? To not feed into it. Things should not scare you into doing things that you know are not good for you. So me dying alone, I find pleasure in it because everybody does. Everybody dies alone. No one dies with somebody else. If that was the case, I could actually understand the fight to get a man. You know what I mean? But it's like we all live, like we come here, we have our experiences, and then we die by ourselves. And that's it. That is it. So you cannot fearmonger me into getting with someone that I don't like or that I'm not happy with or that I don't find peace with or peace in. You just can't do it. I mean, you used to be able to get me maybe like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. But it's like, you just can't get me like that, and they love to do that. They love that fear mongering tactic. They love to use that. But if you are a Black woman, right, and we're practicing getting rid of our scarcity mindset, we are practicing getting rid of, we're practicing having an abundance mindset, right? You will never go without. You'll never, there's plenty. I just don't understand, to the point where you can make yourself a prospect in your lineup, sis. Like, you see where I'm going with this? So it's like, men cannot, or people cannot fearmonger you by saying things like, you gonna die alone. They just can't. Okay? They just can't. It's impossible.
I feel really kicks in the 5 years later. Like,
what is that?
Because, at first you're in shock. And then there's a lot of attention and love around you. And then people get back to their lives. And then now you're like, well, how do I get back to my life when it's shifted so much? And then what does life look like for me now? And then you're like rebirthing. Then someone dies and now you're in a rebirth. But you're in the rebirth. And that's weird.
And then people kind of start going away.
People, they live their lives.
Yeah.
Then they start talking bad about you again. They don't give a fuck about you no more.
Who is talking bad
no,
about
I'm the same.
you? Tell
Anybody.
me right now.
No. Anybody.
Who did it?
No one did anything.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? They're like, oh.
Because do you feel like there's an army of people out here that want to protect you?
I do. Yeah. I feel like people do.
Like
love
if you said
me.
who did it right now,
Oh,
I feel like
know.
there would be an army of people that would show up for you.
That makes me feel good inside.
You do, right?
I didn't always feel like that. Yeah.
I feel like you are definitely, people want to protect you and people want to like show you love. Even when I say I'm talking to Lauren, they're like, oh God, how's she doing?
See?
Everybody's like, oh, there's like a soft, like, I don't know. There's like a
Maybe because
tender
people
spot.
knew I was on my way out. I was feeling like, I don't know.
No, I did think about you a lot though during those times and prayed for you a lot in that times. But now that you're like, and then you get to a place where you want to do rebirth. How are you doing that? Are you doing that?
I have to.
You started working again.
Yeah, I just finished it. Yeah, I just did a whole movie.
You did another. Well, you did the movie.
Oh yeah, I did it too.
Michael B.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah,
Hello.
you're right. And that's so grief also messes up your memory.
Wasn't that the first time?
Yeah, that was
the first thing you did.
But grief really strikes your memory different.
What does it do?
It just like you block out a lot of things. You know when you're pregnant and you're like, I have pregnancy brain?
Yes.
Grief brain is real.
Oh. Okay, so I want to talk about something. I want to talk about rebirth, but I also want to talk about how whenever you experience something traumatic, how the brain has the ability, because she just said that during her grieving process, there are just when she looks back on certain moments and things like that, she can't really remember. It's interesting how your brain can block out certain traumatic experiences that you go through. This is why I have been saying on here that in order for you to truly heal, right? Sometimes you need to tap into your inner child to heal things that you forgot about, because it's so incredible how the brain can block out a horrible memory because it was that traumatic to you. So I'm always telling you guys, tap into your inner child, go paint, go dance. I don't know, get into ceramics or something that like triggers that inner child in you. So you can go back down memory lane and start your healing journey, because it really starts during your childhood. And I think it's so interesting how she said that, grief, you have grief brain. That is a thing. That is incredible to me. But it makes sense because, my therapist was telling me how sometimes we block out certain memories within our childhood that were pretty traumatic and we forget about them. And then we may go through something that we experience in our adulthood or adult life, and it triggers that memory. And then you have a flashback. And then you get really triggered because those old emotions that you felt when you were a child just rushes over you in that moment. And you may not handle the situation properly or quote unquote correctly, or I don't know, like in a way that is healthy, right? And so you may lash out at the person. That's why you have to go back and you have to tap into your inner child and start healing some of those childhood wounds, because if it was pretty traumatic, you blocked it out, you forgot about it. And it still has an effect on you, though. That's the thing. It still has an effect on you today. It still has an effect on you within your adulthood. It's just you're not making that connection. So when you tap into your inner child, I don't know, paint, dance, join a group for something. I don't know. It's going to bring back those memories. And be prepared, because those memories are not always favorable, but it's so necessary. And when you start to go through a healing process, you go through so many rebirths, because once you heal certain parts of yourself, it shaped who you were. Like those things, those traumatic experiences shaped who you were. And it's almost like the old you dies. It's so crazy. And then you're reborn again. And then, because healing is a journey. It's this thing where you do it, and then you do it again, and then you do it, and then you do it again, and you do it again and again and again. And so as you go through these healing phases, I would call it, you go through a lot of rebirths, because who you used to be able to connect with, which is your old self, you no longer connect, because you've healed a certain part of yourself. And so because of that, you're not who you used to be, and people from your past, they'll say things like, oh my God, like she is just so different. I don't even recognize her. And it's because you are actually doing the work. And so when you do the work, you go through a lot of rebirths. And sometimes you can, oh my God, I just did this the other day. I posted that photo to my community tab, and I'm like, oh my God, I look so naive. Like, I know everyone sees like my beauty and stuff like that, but I see my brain. I see my mindset. Like, so much has shifted, and it's incredible. And I want everyone to have this experience, because it's like, dang, I see this girl and I remember this girl, but I cannot relate to her anymore. Like, mentally, I can see that in a photo. It's incredible. And I want everyone to have that experience. So you go through a lot of rebirths, and you just look different. Your energy, your aura is different. And people you may not even be able to resonate with, because I hate to say it, but a lot of people don't do the work. And so when you look back on people from your past, it's like they're still stuck in that cycle that you were in with them, or that you shared with them. But because you've healed, you've done the work, right? You've kind of moved out of that cycle, but they're still in that cycle. And so it's like you don't even resonate with them anymore. You don't connect with them anymore. Not in a judgmental way, but like energetically, you just don't resonate with them anymore. So it's just a lot, it's a lot. So I understand where Lauren is coming from. Like, rebirths are so real. And this is why death does not scare me, because like when there's a death, there's a new beginning. Every ending, there is a new start. So I don't fear death. I fear grief. I do. Because it plays into my childhood trauma with attachment issues, like losing somebody close to me that impacted my life on a daily basis. Absolutely terrified. But death, it does not scare me, because with every ending, there is a new beginning. And so it just does not scare me. I love that. Oh, wait a minute.
Really? And still happening. Does it still happen all the time?
There's people would tell me about something that happened in 2016. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember. I like block a lot of my old life out in a weird way.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Why?
It's going to sound crazy, but I'm taking, there was a time I couldn't even take a shower. There was a time I didn't even laugh. And I remember feeling so dark, like, am I ever going to laugh? You know what I mean? Am I ever going to something really make me chuckle genuinely? And yeah, I have laughed, and I take a lot of showers.
Did you take a shower? Did you take a shower today?
I took one today.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Your hair is done. You look like you got
my nails are done. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I was really in a dark space.
Yeah.
I think, and I am someone that I don't just feel it. I go in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just proud that I'm not where I was 3 years ago.
What do you want to do still? Have you thought about that? Like, if we're talking about like our time is limited here, like, what do you want to do with the rest of that?
I really want to be peaceful, and I would like to give peace to others. It's very simple. I don't think my I don't have like these large accomplishments anymore. Where like, oh, I want to win an Oscar. Like I don't have those.
Did you use it? That was used.
Yeah, but I think that was because that was like expected. Like that's what you're supposed to want to do. Yeah. I don't know if I ever really cared, but I think I just want to. I just don't want to miss my mark. Whatever God has for me to do on earth in the realest way, I do not want to miss that mark. I just want to do that every day. So
do you know what that mark is, or are you still figuring it out all the time?
I'm still figuring it out. I do feel like having a good intention, speaking out, being kind to people, not overexerting myself because then I'll be a fraud. I do think that a lot of my work now might not be in front of the camera. It might be behind the camera and encouraging someone else in front of the camera. I want to be more creative behind the scenes.
Is there anything you don't want to do that maybe you used to do?
Red carpets.
I felt that deep. I
don't really want to walk those no more. Damn.
If you could live your life perfectly.
Never again. Or work out. I wouldn't pick up a damn weight.
No Soul Cycle for you?
Oh, child, no. I would be sitting up there chilling in the mountains. But yeah, I mean, I am grateful of the jobs that I recently just did. They were really good.
So, anything you want to share?
Yeah, I just did this movie with Kenya Barris, Eddie Murphy,
nice,
Long, Jonah Hill, who's my new best friend.
He's dope.
I love me some
really
Jonah.
Funny.
Yeah, he's awesome. It was a really good film, and it was the first time I ever did a movie outside of Without Remorse, where like I didn't feel the pressure of having to like be a certain way. I just showed up.
What is that normally how you feel? Like you have to be a certain way?
No, yeah. Well, you just want to like make sure your lines are perfect. You just want to make sure you're perfect. You have all this pressure of like being perfect. And I was just an observer. I just watched and I was just a part of the experience. I wasn't in my head about it. And that was new for me.
Do you feel like having had gone through such a trauma and tragedy that there's something also beautiful that you get after going through that?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just more present as a mom. You know what I mean? And I have this like freedom of just focusing on them and my relationship with God. Like that's it. That is it.
What do you pray for most?
Peace.
Oh my God.
I pray for peace a lot. All 24/7 peace and protection. Those are really important for me.
For you, for your family?
For my family.
Yeah.
For my family, yeah.
What about anger?
No, and that's the thing. I'm not angry. I'm not angry as much as I am like,
I have a question in the comment section. Have you reached a point in your healing journey where you're not angry? Because I think it's a point that you have to reach. And I know I don't know, people try to shame Black women out of being angry, but that is part of the healing process. I'm at a point where I'm not angry anymore either. Like I'm not angry. And, people in my personal life as of lately, like people have done some really just hurtful, mean things. And I'm still not angry. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. Somehow I find gratitude in the fact that what they did, or it just doesn't bother me. And like it doesn't bother me. I don't know. There was a point in my healing journey, Gia, where I went back and forth. I would go from being mad to being angry to being happy. I am in a place in my healing journey where I'm happy, sad, and healing. But I'm finally at a point where I'm not angry because I can say, like, I ain't gonna even lie, but for years I was freaking mad. Like I was pissed off. I was mad as hell. But now I'm finally I've reached a point, right? And this is why you can't put like a timing on your healing journey. I finally it took years for me to come out of how angry I was. I was a 2-time sexual assault victim. I don't even call myself a victim anymore, but like during that time where I did, I was mad as hell. I was so angry. And that's part of the healing process though. So don't shy away from being angry. Don't shy away from being pissed off. I think when you can acknowledge that that is your current emotion when it comes to your healing journey, you're self-aware and you're on your way to somehow working through that emotion. But I don't know. I just feel like I was mad as hell for a very, very long time. Yeah, I was mad at everybody too. Like I was mad at family. I was mad at myself. I was mad at like coaches and just people that I felt like should have been there for me, but they weren't there for me. Friends, like I was just mad as hell. I was just mad at everybody. But now I'm really like in a space where it's like I'm not even mad. And I think if I was still in that space or in that phase of my healing journey and I was dealing with all of these like portrayals from like friends and like family and stuff like that, I think it would have taken me over the edge. But it's just like, I don't know. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm actually like oddly grateful that these people are revealing their true colors to me and I can like move on with my life. It's very strange. I never thought I would ever reach this level of peace. I don't think I ever thought I didn't know you could have this level of peace on earth, because earth is very like it's chaotic. There's always something going on around you. Like there's always something, right? But I never thought that I could actually reach this level of peace on earth. I thought I would have to die, go to heaven or something like that. But you can actually, but it may require you to disconnect from technology, go out into nature, put your feet in some grass, hug a tree, sit by water. It may mean that you need to meditate more, but you actually can find peace on earth. And I didn't know it was a real thing, because when I look at my childhood, very traumatic. Every day it was something, there was always some type of upheaval, but like you actually can reach peace on earth. Like I'm shocked by this, and I never thought that this existed. I never thought that this was like an actual thing. It's crazy. So I just want to encourage you, like you can reach this, like a certain level of peace where life is not going necessarily the way that you plan, but like you don't even care because you're at peace. Hopefully y'all understand what I'm talking about, but yeah. But I was very pissed off, very angry.
You know what I mean?
Never at no point did that kick in?
Of course, it does, and I get agitated with people easier, or I feel like it came disguised as control. Now I have like strong control issues that I'm working through. I have to control every little thing in a weird way because maybe I don't want to be angry
or surprised.
But that could, I'm traumatized. But that could be underneath that. Sadness clearly is anger, but it hasn't showed up how it used to. Where for me, I used to like ready to fight.
Who was you fighting?
Oh my God. Myself mostly, but you know what I mean? Anything, anybody, like anything would piss me off. And I'd be like, well, what were we going to do with it? You want to fight? No, cool. Shut it up. Like, you know what I mean? That was always instead of like talking things out, I'd be like, are we fighting? No, so shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
In relationships too, you're combative in your relationship.
And I'm not fighting in my relationship.
Not physically, but.
Am I combative? I think I used to have a really smart ass mouth.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally
I think I was always, I always say I'm not good for the male ego. I'm not the partner for, if you have an ego that needs to be stroked, I'm not your girl.
You got the wrong chick.
Because I'm giving all truth. I'm truth down. Like, not so much. You know what I mean?
They probably love that about you.
And I think it makes me a good friend.
Because it's honest, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real with you. Because I want you to be your highest, you know?
And you're like that with your kids too, I imagine.
I'm so honest with my damn kids, my poor kids. But that makes them trust me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes them, and that makes me trust them.
How are they doing through everything?
You know, theirs shows up in different ways. And I'm sure, you know, kids they internalize everything until they get in their teens. So I'm sure, you know, I'm trying my best to help them cultivate how to deal with their emotions as the best.
You guys, did you hear what she said? First of all, she said, I'm just not the woman for a man that has an ego that need to be stroked. That's me. Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm a Sagittarius. I have Sagittarius placement in my moon. So yeah, that's me. Yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't. Because I don't even hold space for that within myself. Like, I'm very honest with myself. Like, everyone says they're a realist, but it's not about being real or coming across as real to others. It's about you being real with yourself. Because the only way you can be real or be a realist to others is you have to be real with yourself first. And I don't like small talk. I just don't like small talk. I don't see the point. Like, let's get to the point. Let's talk about the point, and then we can branch off of that. But I don't like small talk. I never did. But when I started being real with myself, that's when I started seeing change. One thing that I have learned is that I finally came to the realization about why people don't like accountability. People, right? Like friends, parents, your man or the woman that you're in a relationship with, whatever the case may be. The reason why people do not like accountability is because once they take accountability, they have to change. And people don't want to change. And also, people don't want to face themselves. People don't want to face themselves. People don't want to face themselves. And I've came to that realization, and I'm like, why don't people want to face themselves? Like, how can you say you love yourself if you don't want to face yourself? Like, and I'm talking about the horrible side, because we all have a shadow side, right? And so it's like, well, why can't you face your shadow? Why is it that you run from it? So I finally came to the realization that the reason why people don't want to take accountability is because that means that when you take accountability, right, and when you do, and it's not the greatest thing, you actually have to implement change after that, because you're aware of the situation or the I don't know, whatever may have taken place. And so now it's like, oh, now I actually have to change because I just took accountability. So people don't want to take accountability. I've came to the realization that the reason why I don't mind taking accountability is because I'm willing to change. I'm willing to adapt. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to grow from the situation. And I think people who don't want to take accountability, they don't want to change, they don't want to grow, they don't want to face themselves. And that's why I just don't like being around people who don't want to take accountability, male or female. And I have had to also distance myself from family because I'm just like, why do I feel like I'm the parent now? And it's like, you're older than me. How is it? And also, let's talk about how on this spiritual journey or on this healing journey, whatever journey you're on, right? How you outgrow your parental figures and how they become the child and how you feel like you have to parent them because you went through the process of working on yourself and reparenting yourself. And so now you don't reparent yourself so good to the point now you parenting your parents, or you feel like the parent when it comes to your parents. Girl, it's a mess. So yeah, but I learned, and I hate to say it, through my own parents, I learned that the reason why they don't want to take accountability is because they don't want to face themselves. They don't want to face that dark side. You know, they just want to look at themselves like, oh, I was the greatest parent. I was a wonderful parent. But they don't want to admit that maybe there were some dark things or some dark times, and they don't want to own up to that. And it's an ego thing for them. And and now it's like, I have to look at them differently in order to give them grace, right? That, well, I reparent myself. They didn't do that. They don't even know to do that. And so it's like, you know what? I can't even be mad. I'm gonna just have to distance myself because it can be a little toxic, right? But it's just like, girl, black parents and their pride, that is something serious. Girl, that is something traumatic. I'm like, gosh, you know what? I never want to be the parent that stops learning. I actually want to leave room for my kids to teach me things. Like, even if I'm 50, 55, I want my kids to teach me things. I never want to stop learning because I feel like if you stop learning, you stop growing. And that is scary to think about. Like, you just stop learning, that means you're not growing then. And I leave room, I will leave room, right, for my kids to teach me something.
As I can through therapy, and I try to be an example. So like they see me meditate, they come with me to my spiritual retreats.
They do?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because
My kids would never.
Well, they're really young still. I'm sure Cam is over it. Or like any type of like church or anything that I do that feeds my soul, I share with them because I feel like I don't know where they're gonna go with their life, but as long as they have the tools on, like, I remember my mom was angry or stressed. She did this. Let me try that. So I'm just, they're doing great. Much better now.
Thank God.
Yeah. And I just love on them so hard.
I can tell.
So hard.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. But they're really dope. Like, I'm like, you guys are my favorite human beings on planet Earth.
I love that. Are they showing signs of what they want to be or what they want to do?
Yeah, so Cam raps really well, but I don't know if he wants to do it because I think it comes too easy for him.
Yeah.
He like freestyles like crazy.
Wow.
And he can make his own songs, and he's really good with numbers and math, and he wants to be like a finance guy. He's like,
he wants to be a finance guy?
Like, he's like, I'm going to be, he loves numbers.
That's so cute.
And I think Cross just wants to be Spider-Man right now. We don't know yet. He's just
How old is he?
5.
5. And what do you tell them about that?
There was a video that went viral not too long ago, and I forgot all about it because I went and was visiting with family. It was on Facebook. Can you guys email me that video? Because I forgot to do a reaction to that, but I was gone when it was happening. Hold on, wait a minute. It was a young girl. She walked up to the front, and I don't know if it was church or something like that. Did y'all see that video? I need that video because I forgot all about it, but you guys bringing that up in the chat box just reminded me of that. I need that video. I still want to do a video on toxic mothers, but if you come across the video, please email it to me, DM me on Instagram. I would greatly appreciate it because I forgot all about that video.
Do you talk to them?
Yeah,
I feel like
so
you don't
I
ever talk to kids.
Oh,
about
well,
that.
I had to. I was the one who had to break the news to them. So yeah. So, but no one could have done that for me. I had to do that.
Of course. Nobody prepares you for that.
No. Even though, in my previous years, I went to a seminar about death.
Okay, you have to tell. Well, you're just telling me this now.
I know, yeah.
Please share. Why?
I have a friend.
Why were you there, and what did you learn?
I learned that no one really dies, and that it's just an experience in the physical form, and we're attached to our personalities, but that we're just souls, and that we continue and continue and continue. And if you have a spiritual relationship with someone on Earth, you will have one with them when you leave Earth. So I did this 2-day seminar on death. So,
and this was how long ago?
I had to be 25.
What sent you there? Do you find that weird though?
I'm weird.
No, it's not weird that you would go. It's almost like you were preparing yourself for what you would have to deal with.
Well, I told you I have such a connection to Earth at a young age.
I know, but you don't find that as you were preparing yourself for what you were going to have to deal with.
Well, that we're all.
We have 555 likes. We have 555 likes. I'm assuming that you guys are going to be experiencing change after this video. That is what it means. 555. It means change. Is big for change. That's what we've been talking about this whole live. So if you tuned in and you are trying to usher in change, welcome it in. I'm going to tell you to declutter your home, your space, your phone, your mind, declutter, remove it so you can make room for this new energy in your life. If you really are trying to welcome in change or manifest change, please give the video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it.
All gonna have to deal with.
That's true. Point. All right. Very good. That's a solid point, Lauren.
You know what I mean?
Solid
it's not
point.
just me. Like we
You're
all
right.
have to go through it.
This is the point of this conversation,
right?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot. Even I forget sometimes. This is going to happen to every single human.
It is.
But why were you so aware of that, and what even sent you there? You just
I am a little bit of a fanatic about truth. So if it's something, I love truth. So I think I'm telling you, I did a lot of like spiritual work as a young girl because I had a pretty traumatic childhood that I needed to get some peace. Now, this is my second trauma, and this is my second quest for deeper spiritual understanding. So now I was like reading all the books, but now I'm applying all the books. So yeah, I did this seminar. I went to this conference with a friend of mine who actually is a intuitive. And it gave me a better concept of it. It didn't totally prepare me because I don't think anything could really prepare you for that. But it gave me language to talk to my kids about.
That's amazing.
So I say the words transitioned, and, you know, I always say that, like, you know, daddy is everywhere, and, you know, he feels us, we feel him. And anytime there's something you want to say, you might not hear him, but you'll feel it and follow that guidance and write letters and talk to him, or, you know, stuff like that.
Do you feel like empathetic to other people who kind of go through things now in a different way? I consider myself to be like a super empath, like almost that I have to work on it to because I feel sometimes a little too much for people.
But that's your power, and if you calm it down, then your intuition won't be so high. So don't calm it down.
Yeah, but does it really serve? Well, if 3 people in the room are down.
Okay, we're the empaths. Come to the front. Yes, you need to clutter out your space. Whenever you're trying to manifest and welcome in new beginnings, new energy, you just broke up with some man, you divorced, girl, you need to declutter, okay? And stop holding on to that stuff that you want to hold on to because of the memories. You need to let it go so you can make new memories. That's what this is about. Okay, I wanted to add though, what was I saying? Hold on, wait a minute. I was talking about 555 welcoming in new energy, and there was something else that I wanted to talk about. Empaths. Learning how to say no. Empaths. You need to listen. You need to learn how to receive. You got that bad where you feel guilty for receiving or accepting something. You know, in order for you to do good in this world, you have to replenish yourself, and you should not feel guilty for receiving something in return. Okay. And also, my whole life, I had family say, "You're overly sensitive." And yeah, I was overly sensitive. And because I was overly sensitive in my trauma, I was a hot mess. But once you start to heal, right, you take on this healing journey, embrace your sensitivity. It is your superpower. Why is it your superpower? It is your superpower because you can feel things that sometimes other people do not feel. It could be warning. It could be protection. It could be compassion. It could be the ability to know have this deep knowing, and you can't always express, you know, why you feel the way that you feel, but you know that it holds truth, right? So embrace your sensitivity. It is your superpower. It makes you intuitive. It makes you do things or to see things or to feel things that others cannot. And that is your gift in this world, and you shouldn't neglect it because people are calling you sensitive or, oh, you're too sensitive. Like, no, embrace your sensitivity. It makes you compassionate. It makes you an earth angel. You know, you can feel things that others don't feel. You have the ability to heal people. Now, when it comes to your healing abilities, you need to establish boundaries, okay? Because you are going to attract a lot of energy vampires that just want to suck you dry, girl. And you know what? You're going to have to fight them off with a stick, because if they are not reciprocating, okay, then they can't use your good healing energy. And it's just that simple. So you need to establish some boundaries. With when you're an empath, it's almost like people know they can come to you for anything. They know that you're going to give them the shirt off your back. And it's just like, no. They need to reciprocate. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So I don't care if they walk up to you and they put 25 cents in your cup. At least they put something. But you shouldn't just keep giving, and these people just keep taking. It's like, okay, okay. And now you drained, you're exhausted, you in the bed, you may even be in a depression. And that's why you got to establish boundaries. I had to learn that the hard way, and it was not fun. It was not fun at all. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Does it serve for you to go down with them?
No, you don't have to go
doesn't.
down with them, but that's really good. You're an empath, because that means you're really intuitive.
I think we should all be empathetic.
Yeah, but some of us aren't that touched with other people's energy because we're too much in our own.
But you don't think consuming other people's energy could sometimes not be?
Well, you have to learn to like.
Well, this is what I'm working.
Yeah, okay, got it.
I can't. You know, if my friend's like going through, I can't go down with you. Like I have to be able to hear you and then go have my day.
That's your
Otherwise,
practice then.
It's so hard.
See, I don't have that issue.
Oh,
I wish I did.
No, you don't.
I mean, of course I have like compassion.
Don't wish for any issues. By
no, but I mean, I wish that. I guess I am. And I guess I am. I do pick up my energy really well, but I do know how to shake other people's energy off fast.
That's good. You need that probably, especially in this town. I was thinking about you when I landed. I was like, you see, like Nipsey's everywhere in LA. There are murals. There is like.
Oh yeah, no, it's not easy.
And then I thought, I wonder if Lauren has ever thought about moving, or does she enjoy being?
I want to move all the time. I just know it's not the right time for my family if I leave.
But you also love LA.
I love it. It's tattooed on me.
Yeah.
To the death of me, I love LA, but it's too heavy for me right now. Yeah.
Everywhere you go, right?
Not even just, I mean, it's not even that, because he's in my house everywhere, and I sleep and wake up with him on my mind. So I'm in it. But it's just that LA feels really heavy. It feels heavy for me.
And so for your kids, you would stay put. Is that
I'm staying put right now. Yeah. And then I just don't think it's like a good time for like the rest of our family that loves us and wants to make sure they have a close eye on us. And, you know, but yeah, I would go to the desert. And
what would you do in the desert, Lauren?
I don't know.
Just
sit.
Build a hut with your children?
A nice hut. A real nice hut. a glamorous luxury hut, honey. We still need our comfort. No, I would. I don't know. I would just be. I think still need.
Could you really? Because we say that.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Really?
Without a doubt.
I don't know why I don't believe you.
I don't know why you don't.
Because I still feel like you have one foot in where you're like, you still love, I imagine you still love what you do. Like, do you still love acting?
I do love acting.
Okay.
I don't like the politics with acting.
Okay. Oh, the business of it, probably.
I don't like the business of it, but I love action. And then you say, I love that. I love that.
Well, this is why I say you still have one foot in.
But I could like come and do that and go back.
Yes, that you could do.
Yeah.
But you don't want to give up. Or you do. You just want to disappear.
No, I sometimes do want to disappear, but I don't think that's a part of my calling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think I'd be being selfish.
Say, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think I'd be selfish, and I think then I wouldn't be complete. But the selfish side of me would love to disappear sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you do things for yourself like that?
They have to force me out.
Outside?
Mm-hmm. That's right. And then now I guess I have a reputation that I don't go nowhere. Because I'm like, no one invites me anywhere.
You guys, when I tell y'all I want to be selfish and disappear, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea. Like, y'all just have no idea. I just want to disappear sometimes and never come back. Like, I can relate to that so freaking much. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I know exactly how she feels. And you know how I get stereotyped to like attention and want to be in the spotlight, and I honestly could care less about that. Like, I honestly could care less. I would rather actually disappear and, I don't know, go to my little cocoon, but that is so selfish of me. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. I disappear on people in real life though. I do. I know people are like, where did she go? Where did she go? I'm like, girl, I just don't like being around people all the time 24/7. It's just too much. That's why I consider myself to be a popular loner. You know, I like being alone. I don't know why people don't understand that. On his story, please look it up. Basically, a white chick unalived her dude slowly and made a show about it on live every day. Oh my God. I was looking at that. I didn't understand. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to look into it when I get off. I sure am. I'm about to be nosy. But yeah, y'all, I would disappear. I disappear on people all the time. And you know what? I disappear on people to take a bubble bath. I disappear on people to do my manifestations. I disappear when there's a full moon. Do not bother me. Because I'm trying to usher in that new moon energy. And so it's just like, I don't have time to be around people. That's just too much. And you block. And then I hate to say it, but some people just don't be on your same frequency. And so if you trying to usher things in, they blocking it with their energy just don't be where it needs to be. And so it's just like, I'm gonna need you to get out of my energy for a while so I can like welcome in this new energy, and you're blocking it. So you know what? I'm gonna just go off and be by myself. I'm an introvert to the fullest. I don't think people understand that. I could be both though. That's the thing. I have no problem being social, but I'm introverted to the death of me. Being an empath spirit, I was without boundaries. I gave it to them and turned around and said, that's why when you need money, you ask a Christian because they'll give it to you first and last time. Oh my God. See, it be stuff like that. Thank you for the $20. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that's crazy. See, that's why and listen to the empathic people, stop being so nice. You're too nice. And listen, and this is another thing. You try to prove how nice you are to people. Stop doing that. If you are a nice person, it shows. You don't have to try to be nice or try to, and that's why I say that good girl or good woman, it's just a setup for you to be used and taken advantage of. If you are a good person, it shows. People can feel that energy. You don't have to prove it, because I feel like when we get in that trying to prove it to others, that's how we get used. Has a great breakdown of the situation. I would love to see what you gathered from the whole situation. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, stop trying to, being nice is natural. Okay. And I think we get that from church. And then I started learning sometimes people in church, they be fake nice. That's why I'm like, you don't have to prove how nice you are. It just shows. Okay. That's how people get taken advantage of. And that's why, like, I will never shelter my kids because it gives you a false reality. I felt like as a child, I was set up. And it was because my parents fed me this false reality that everybody's nice as long as you're nice. And it's such a lie.
Really? Nothing.
Come on, guys.
I'm gonna say it. They don't invite me nowhere.
Maybe they're
BET
worried.
always invites me. Thank
do.
you, BET. Y'all make me feel seen. In essence, thank y'all. But and nobody else. They don't invite me nowhere.
Why do you think that is?
Because Yan says because I don't go nowhere.
Well, because you have to be. They have to remember that you want to be out, and
I know. But yeah, that's what happens.
Legacy. Do you ever think about yours?
Yes.
What is it? What do you?
I would love to leave generational wealth for my grandkids. And I would like to leave have a sweet place in everyone's heart that I met.
Because people look at you and they see Nipsey forever, right? Do you have a responsibility, or do you put that responsibility on yourself to kind of almost like rep his legacy? Or
I mean, especially for my son.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We share a 5-year-old, so yeah, I have to. But I'm very big on integrity and honor naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna always intend to hold myself up and have integrity in what I do, and honor in what I do, and try to always think about like what would Hustle do if it was me.
Mm.
So I just try to maintain that what he would do.
Mm.
And
That
he would
feels like a what will Hustle do. I feel like the marathon store should have a what will Hustle do t-shirt.
I'm always thinking like what would Hustle do in this situation.
That's amazing. I asked you that because I think some people could get lost in somebody else's legacy. You know what I mean? When you're connected to somebody so strong and people look to you for that
He
too.
would never want me to do that. He would never want me to do that. So many conversations we had about my own destiny, my own marathon. He used to always be like, "Boog, you your own. You the one. You got it." Like, he would hype me up so much. Like, he would never want me to just get lost in his purpose and miss my mark, whatever that is, big or small. He wouldn't want that. Like, I wouldn't want that for anybody. I wouldn't want my kids to be caught up behind me either,
A very easy mistake for people to make.
Well, yeah, because you also feel like, you're still attached to them. But a lot of your own purpose and living in your truth makes you more connected to them. You know what I mean? The very thing we're afraid to do is what keeps us away.
What's on your bucket list? Do you have one thing you want to do?
Live in an ashram for like a year and devote like a very monk style life for a year or 2.
1 year. And what is that? What would that entail?
Just like devote to God
I don't know why
all day.
My voice went down here when I asked you that.
Because I'm deeper than the earth. No, I would just like to like spend time only devoting to God in nature. I want to like get that deep within myself.
For a year?
Yes.
So
okay. Yes. What? And then like, all this like natural food, and then like go to the waterfall and shower in the waterfall and just.
I could do that for 2 weeks strong.
Really?
Yes.
But imagine what a year does to you.
Yeah.
You'll probably never come back the same.
Is that what you want? Because like, would you want to not come back the same?
Yeah. I feel like it might be the jolt I need one day. I'm telling you, I just am like a big student on truth. Like, I want to know, especially after this happened, I'm just like, okay, God, I want to know a lot of your mysteries.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing, no?
On my relationship with God. And I remember hearing people used to say, you don't really have a relationship till you question God. And I had a lot of questions afterwards, real ones.
You want to share any?
I just was like, I prayed really hard when I heard he had got shot. And so then I felt like, my prayer didn't work. So prayer didn't work. So then I was like, what's really going on? Why? How? I feel like God dropped the ball on me. That's how I felt. I took it real personal. And then I started to feel like, why not you?
Can you guys hear me now? Why is it doing that? I don't know why. Can y'all hear me now? Okay, y'all can hear me now. I don't know what's going on. StreamYard warned me about my audio, but I'm like, I thought I fixed it, but I guess not. Okay, like I was trying to say, if have you ever been in a space where you really start questioning like God? And then like when you start questioning, then it was kind of like, okay, I feel like I have a relationship now. It's almost like that's how you establish the relationship. I know exactly how she feels. I know exactly how she feels. I didn't have a real relationship with spirit God until I started questioning just everything. Why exist? Why do I have to go to work every day? Why do I have to do X, Y, and Z? Why is this the norm? Why? I just want to know why. Everybody just gets up every day and they do what they got to do. But I always wanted to know why. Why? What is the point of all of this? Why are we here on earth? Why does earth even exist? Why? You know, and I was tired of people throwing me a Bible verse. I'm like, okay, and then it's a riddle, and I'm supposed to interpret it the way someone wants me to interpret it. But what if I have my own way of interpreting the scripture? You know, have y'all ever questioned? And this is another question I used to have for God too, was why do we all have to read the scripture and interpret it the same way? Because think about it, you could read literature. Literature doesn't have to be a Bible verse, and we could all interpret it in different ways. Why do we all have to interpret scripture the same way? I don't know. I started asking some questions that certain people I stopped going to because they couldn't answer the question. So I started going to God more, which established a stronger relationship. So I don't know. I started asking them, and in the way spirit or God would like explain to you or bring it to your self of awareness, your level of awareness was incredible, and that's what made my relationship stronger. But going to other people and seeking other people out, I stopped doing that. I started like the answers are always within yourself. I tell y'all that on Instagram all the time. I say the answers are always within yourself. They are. It's like a treasure chest. You just have to unlock it. You got to speak out loud and ask things to be revealed to you in order for you to find out why certain things are the way that they are. It will actually come to you. Something to think about. But that's how my relationship got stronger. I hate to say it, it wasn't church. It wasn't the Bible. It was me questioning God and going to him, asking him why. Because I just wanted to know. I'm like, well, why does the sun exist? Why does the moon exist? Why is there nightfall? Like, why is there like dusk to dawn? Like I had questions, and I was tired of people giving me some scientific answer. I was tired of people giving me some social answer or some political answer. I was just tired of that. So I stopped asking certain people. I started going to God directly. I'm like, the source. Let me go ask.
Why not you, girl? Who are you? Women go through this daily. Why not you? And so then I had to get out my ego. And then my relationship started.
Ooh, I just felt something when you said that. I caught a little.
Yeah, you did. See, I told you it's something. Something is happening.
What is that?
I'm telling you.
That's crazy.
It's called this truth and like confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
I like when spirit confirms.
There's something you said earlier in this that I don't know. It will stick with me forever because I never really thought about it. You said earlier about you sitting front row at a funeral. And I do remember because I wasn't there at Nip's service. I watched that on TV, and you came out with your kids, and I don't know if everybody, when you came out, everybody was like, because everybody had been feeling for you so strongly, and you seemed, I don't know, just like so regal and so. Did you feel that way? You looked so put together and strong.
I just felt like it was surreal, and I felt like. I can honestly say God was carrying me through that. That wasn't me. That was all God. Because there was no way. I didn't even want to get dressed. I was going to wear sweats. And,
were you really? Did somebody?
Like, I'm not getting. Yeah.
Did somebody pull you aside?
Somebody pulled me aside. Puff.
Really?
Puff pulled me aside and was like, look, bud, you have showed everybody what it looks like to hold a man down and to love him. Now show them what it looks like when it all crumbles. That's your responsibility. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing that. But Puff was more, he's like a real brother.
He's been.
I gotta roll my eyes, but I don't know. I'm like, ugh. But I will say, that's another part of growth, right? It hits us in different ways and at different times, right? So Puff has dealt with grief actually. And so I can kind of understand how he was able to help her with that. But at the end of the day, I do feel like P. Diddy still falls victim to his demons, his addictions, right? But at the end of the day, he was still able to help Lauren because of some of his experiences. I just don't like it. So, but I understand it though. That's why, when you get to a certain level of enlightenment, it's just sometimes you still roll your eyes, but you understand how. And that's basically what I got from that. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, it makes sense, but I don't like the messenger. Like, you could have used a different messenger, but maybe it was the right messenger. Because again, he's dealt with a lot of he's gone through the process. So it's like, I get it.
Been through a lot of loss too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, you show up. Because he heard, I don't know who told Puff I was.
Somebody called Puff. Somebody called Puff. Somebody in your family or your team called Puff. Like, talk to Lauren.
Because I was like, I'm wearing whatever. I'm not supposed to this now. I was like giving that. And so he was like, no, show up. Show up with your head up. So I really think God just carried me through that because I don't know how. I don't know how I stood on 2 feet.
Like, you got up that day. You had your hair done.
I was just there. I was just there. It was like I was floating through it. I was legit. I don't remember half of it.
And when did you come back?
When it was like all done. Like, it was over. It was over. And everybody went back to their lives and it faded to black. Then it got real. Then I was like, oh shit, you in this. It's like, it's a tunnel, baby, and you gotta walk through. It's no shortcuts out. You can't turn back around because there's nothing back there. And all you see is pitch black ahead. You don't know how long this tunnel is and ain't nobody else in it with you. You hear some people, but you can't see them.
Do you ever want to give up?
Yes.
In those moments? Do you think about that?
Yeah, I do. But then I also feel like my kids deserve happiness. And I always like, my kids deserve a very happy mom. They deserve joy. Why would I rob them of that? So that gets me up.
And to the women that don't have kids, sis, you don't have to have kids to still feel like you deserve happiness. You deserve joy. So you deserve to take on a healing journey so you can receive that. And the only way you can receive that is by doing the work. So her kids may be her motivation, but also you deserve that joy. You deserve that happiness. You deserve that good energy too. Okay, I just had to make that be known. Don't forget about yourself.
And they seem like they have joy. They seem like, from the pictures.
Look, Cam loves when I go to work. He's like, you're going to work? You got a job? I'm like, somebody please give me a job for him because it just don't ever. He loves when I'm at work because it makes him feel like our old life. You know what I mean? It makes him feel like, she's moving, like life is happening. You know?
Because did you let them see you dark? Like when you were in did they?
Yeah.
They had no choice, right? You weren't going to abandon them.
It was real.
They saw it.
And I was very honest with them. This is life. I'm not going to pretend this don't exist. This is sadness.
Some people might,
I mean, it's just, I think it's just a choice in parenting.
Yeah.
I'm very transparent with my kids because, I don't want them to have a false reality of life.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I want them to be like strapped up and ready to go.
Where are you? If you don't want to answer this or you don't like the question, we throw it away.
What?
But where are you with love?
Oh, I this doesn't bother me because here's the thing. I have another perspective on relationships, and you don't want to have that conversation with me.
Okay.
I think a lot of them are ego driven and they're not pure.
I believe that too.
So why would I take myself in this vulnerable state into my ego and I'm trying to get out of it? I'm in death of the ego space. Why do I need another? Why? Does that make my life complete? I'll never get married. Does that mean I'm not on purpose?
I need you to explain.
I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this one because I have a whole thing about it.
No, I need to know.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a small thing to drop. Like,
Okay.
Because relationships are hard as fuck.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
Mine was
it was
very hard. Hell yeah.
Because we make it like a fantasy in our heads. Like you
No.
guys had the perfect relationship. You were on the horse.
Listen,
we saw you on the horse.
We had
It was
pure
a-
love. We had pure love, but that does not mean that we were not human and our egos did not get attached in aspects of our relationship. But we definitely had pure love.
But you had enough intention to probably like dissect or break down.
Always.
Okay.
Good intentions.
But break that down for people.
Yes.
About relationships and ego, and because some people probably don't even think about that.
No, and I didn't think about it until I wasn't in relationship anymore because of the death, right? A lot of times, not all the time, we are in such of in our ego that we are in possession of another person. We're not experiencing them. We're not totally loving them and letting them be free. We think we're supposed to be.
I gotta stop her right there, y'all. This year, I came to the realization that a lot of people are in their ego when it comes to relationships with others. And it doesn't just start and stop with romantic relationships, like it's also friendships too. And I'm seeing it in friendships, like it's all ego. It's not pure love. Like you really have women out here befriending other women for aesthetics. It makes them feel good, right? It gives them an ego boost. You also have women out here. I never in my life knew this about women, but you also have women out here who get married for ego. It's not even pure love. They don't even like the man that they married. They're not even happy. And I've also seen, especially today with social media, you have women that are in relationships with men, public relationships with men. They plaster their relationships all over social media. They fake happy, right? And it's all an ego boost. It's all for show. It's all for the praise of others. But the relationship, the marriage, right? It lacks pure love. And I don't know. I'm actually shocked by this because I don't know if it's because if you see me out here calling somebody my friend, that is like a genuine, pure, loving relationship. And it's not fake. Like, and it's incredible to me. I see it a lot today. It's very thick today. You see a lot of people in relationships just for their ego. It makes them feel better. And ego is rooted in insecurity. So you don't want to be alone. I've seen this is huge, especially here in Houston, where girls link up because they want a certain aesthetic within their friend group or whatever like that to attract men. So they don't feel like they can attract a certain type of male by themselves. They feel like they have to have an aesthetically pleasing group of women to attract a certain caliber of man. I'm just shocked by this. also, when it comes to friend groups among women, I also noticed that a lot of times, for egotistical reasons, the friendship may lack pure love and genuineness, is because it's so the relationship is just rooted in ego. It's all about competing. Literally, I met a girl and she really got weave a frontal for another woman to outdo another woman. She got a handbag to outdo another woman. I'm a tomboy and I'm a late bloomer, so I'm just like really shocked by all of this, because I don't know. It's just when I got dressed as a tomboy, I wasn't thinking about, ooh, I need to throw this on, or I need to dress like this because I need to. I was just throwing stuff on because that's what I wanted to wear. Like, I did not know that this was a thing, and so now I understand men more. And I don't know if it's like a good thing or not, but it's like I understand why men say the things that they say. Not all the time, but when it comes to this section, this sector, right, of socialization among men versus women, I get it. I get it. But I feel like men do it too. Men do it with their cars, their loud engines. We do it with our hair, our nails, our Instagram. But I have a question. And is pure love, is it is that something that we can actually experience within our lifetime, even if it's just a friend? Is pure love, is that something that is still obtainable? Because let me know. I need somebody to let me know. Is pure love something that I can experience in my lifetime? I think it's great that Lauren London can say she experienced pure love, but is it still available to the rest of us? And then also, what is the definition of pure love? What is that? Or what's an example of like pure love? Is it honesty? I don't know. Is it being super vulnerable with someone to the point where there are things that you tell them that you would not tell someone else, or they hold a space where you could be and not worry about how you look? I have questions because I don't know. I don't in this society with social media and aesthetics, and I don't know. Like, sometimes I'm like, dang, what have I gotten myself into with social media?
Together forever. And that's not a spiritual relationship. Spiritual relationship is without the ego. It is we are together. I bring you up, inspire you, you inspire me. Now, if there ever comes a point where I'm not inspired anymore and that now I'm in my ego, now I feel I need to possess you. Now I feel the need to control you in your mind. I'm in my ego. And that's not love. There's love in there, but now I'm operating more in my ego and not in my pure love. And I can say this because I operated from these spaces before.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, absolutely. You mine.
Yeah.
And can't nobody, you know what I mean? But that nobody is yours unless the agreement is that we're going to experience Earth a little bit longer than some. Right?
And you guys, what she's speaking on is what I am absolutely terrified about. Like, I do not want to get in a relationship where I feel owned by my partner. I actually fear that. And then where she said, like, we inspire each other to elevate higher, higher, higher. If there is no growth in my relationship, I literally would just melt inside. Like, that's what scares me about marriage. Like, you just don't grow with the person, or you stop growing with the person, and that like scares the living hell out of me, because I'm really big on growth. I'm so big on that. And I think the reason that I'm really big on growth is because life is never boring when you grow. I'm an Aries, I'm a Sag moon, I'm a Gemini rising, and I cannot see myself in a relationship or a marriage or anything for that matter where it does not involve growth. I would get so freaking bored with life because when you're not growing, you're not experiencing. When you're not growing, you're not learning. And it's just like, I don't know, life could get really boring really fast. So I think if I have a partner that I can actually grow with and not be stagnant with, that would be super exciting to me. And we just hold space for that, you know? But just to get in a relationship with someone just to be quote unquote owned, I'm just not feeling that. I'm not. I have to evolve in my relationship. And you know, the thing that really scares me about men today is they don't want you to evolve. Because they're afraid that you evolving and you get into this high level, right, within yourself, that I don't know, like you would leave them or you would want somebody else. And so they kind of like try to keep you at a certain level. And that's another thing that like scares me about men and relationships is there a man out there that would be comfortable with me evolving to my best self and I don't have to feel like I am reducing myself or making myself small to fit in his world? I don't know. Like it's scary to think about because I'm just like, Thank you, Mole. So sweet. Y'all, Mole is one of my mentees. She is the sweetest thing ever. She brightens my day. Y'all have no idea. Thank you, Mole.
I just don't feel the need to participate in my ego and someone else in theirs anymore. And I've experienced pure love. I am not without pure love. I might not ever be married, but I experience pure love. And that's with
you
Nip.
Experience it now.
With Nip. I got that. I got to see that on Earth.
Woo.
I don't need to do that again. I like to feel enlightenment with God. Now, like I said, I don't know when I'm 50, 60, 70. Mm-hmm. But 37,
I'm good.
Mm-hmm. I'm good. I don't want it. I don't want it.
So how did you get that with Nip? How did you put ego aside?
I didn't get to do it when Nip was here.
I love that.
I didn't get to do it when he was here. I was very much in my control. I love you so much. I want to just hold on to you forever. Then life happened. Then it's like you can't hold on forever. No. Then I had to learn how to have the spiritual relationship. Then I had to dig deep into myself. But I mean, I wasn't always so in my fear of losing him. Because that's another thing. We get in our fear of losing this relationship, this connection, what our life looked like together. That then we just hold on to it so tight, it ends up slipping out anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I said, I lost myself in a lot of aspects of my relationship, but I didn't start like that. It was very pure, good intention. We loved each other, right? Yeah. And we loved each other till the end of time. But I was still human and I didn't learn that part of myself yet. I didn't know I had that possession and like, oh, I love you so much, please don't leave.
That's a good reminder for people to just check themselves.
I mean, it's really hard to learn.
Can you be, because you can do that now in retrospect, but can you do that in actual real life? Not you, but I don't know. Right?
And I don't want to know. See my point? I'm cool. Like, I don't even know if I want to practice that. It's hard. It's really hard. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, I do believe in love. And I think love is beautiful. And like I said, I experience pure love on Earth for real. I can like right hand of God. I loved him with every inch of his soul. And I believe he did the same. I just, you know, I think moving forward on Earth for me is about God, me and my kids, you know, making them stable. What am I supposed to do here? You know what I mean? How deep am I to go here? I just want to do that.
I think that's fascinating for people to look at and think about in their own relationship, because we all do that, right?
It's natural.
You probably even do it to some extent. I don't know if you do because you had this experience and enlightened, but We probably even do that with our kids.
Oh, for
But,
sure. I'm like,
yeah.
wait, where are you going? You know what I mean? You're gonna go to college. Like, yeah, of course. But and I think that it's harder to not be like that with your kids because you start off as a micromanager and then that changes to just like, then they
Trust me, I know mine's in college.
See?
I'm like a consultant now.
Yeah, you're a consultant. Oh Lord, see, I ain't reached that point yet.
It's tough.
See, and now and then you trying to throw me in relationship. I ain't have time for that. I gotta deal with these damn kids. I'm already stressed out. I'm like, no, don't go to
I love that notion though, because most people operate from two emotions, and it's either love or fear. So all the other things that happen, it's usually can fall under one of those.
It's disguising as.
So when you talk about ego and all, that's
All
a lot
fear.
of that is fear, right?
All
so
fear.
So I love my man so much. I don't want anything to happen to him. I don't want him. So I'm going to keep him right here. It's because it's fear.
Total fear.
Yeah. Or am I good enough? Or am I,
In the competition aspect of it all. I'm out that game. I'm so happy I'm out that game.
You out that game? That's not a fun game.
Done. Done. God bless it though.
Well,
I just need to be like a nun somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not really. I mean, I respect you. And I understand your decision. I really do. And I think you're in a beautiful place. And I want you to stay in a beautiful place. And stay healthy and safe. But I don't know. As somebody who really genuinely just likes you and connects with you. I think at least you should just be open to whatever God puts in your path at some point. But who that has nothing to do with. That's mine.
That's just that. You know,
it's just me. That has nothing to do with you.
People feel. Yeah, I think people, and it makes people afraid to hear me say that because then they have to not saying you, but like then it's like, can people really exist by themselves?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It kind of like
and have the full. Yeah.
It disrupts fantasy. It disrupts this notion that we have to be in these like strong relational
units.
Yeah. And here's
what was I saying earlier, you guys? What was I saying earlier? I said, why can't we, us, as in me, you, be an option? Why does the society look down on that? I don't understand. I really do not understand. Like when you leave this earth, you leave by yourself. So I don't know. I think social interaction is necessary, but you could go home to your place. He could go home to his place. I don't understand. Or you could go out, socialize, have a good time, and then go home. And be happy. I don't know why that's not an option. Why do people look at it like, oh, what? Why would you do that? Romance is not the only connection. It's not. And I'm coming to that realization. I felt like I've been misled my whole life. I'm like, romance is not the only connection that you can make in this world. Like, it's really not. It's just we tend to only focus on that. So, I don't know.
Here's the truth. If my situation didn't end via death, I'd still be in it deep. You know what I mean? Not even having this notion of this. And maybe if I did, it would have came in another lesson. It just came in this one. Well,
you have many lessons to teach us all.
On my TED Talk.
What would your TED Talk be on?
Death.
Really?
It would be on death, and it would be on what happens when your earth blows up. What happens after that? What do the ashes look like? How do you pick up from an ash? It's like Phoenix rising.
That should be the name of your TED Talk. Phoenix rising.
Yeah.
Lauren rising.
Lauren rising. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm into that. And I'm trying to get Anita Baker tickets. So like those things I'm
I'm sure we can work that out.
Like her at the Venetian. I need that. I need to see, you know what I mean? A couple things. That's on my bucket list. Anita Baker at the Venetian.
At the Venetian?
Yeah. I'm like a Rochelle Farrell, Anita Baker. Give me some Will Downing. I'm happy.
You're a happy girl. We all want you to be a happy girl.
Just give me some Anita Baker tickets. Where's Hank at? I'm going to ask Hank.
such a good live. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, but I do have a treat for you guys. I mean, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, please give the video a thumbs up so I can know to do more treats. Now, this treat is it's giving, let me pull it up. Anita Baker, that is such a vibe. That is like definitely giving. So I do have a treat. And it's a lovely, lovely treat. Let me pull it up. So this girl, she went viral because I think she went on TikTok and she said that she don't be out here sucking D. Did y'all see that video? That's why I had to save this for at the end, because I'm like, you're gonna have to get through 2 hours to get to the good part or the juicy part. Because I felt like the whole live was good, but the juicy part, you're gonna have to get through 2 hours first. Or was this I guess this was on a podcast. This was on a podcast, but somehow it got onto TikTok. You know how everything be on TikTok. I was on TikTok. I'm on TikTok now. I troll on TikTok. Please don't take me serious. I decided to post one of my TikTok videos, and people took that way too serious. I put it on YouTube, and I feel like people took that way too serious. I have a dry sense of humor, and I don't think people get it all the time. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this video.
Women don't like to give oral.
And don't and won't. Why would I suck you? Majority of y'all have never worn condoms. Don't wear condoms and don't get tested. And you fuck outside your race. I'm sorry. Why would I suck that? Why would I suck that? And I've dead ass had men tell me, well, you're gonna get cheated on. Y'all cheat on everybody. Y'all cheat on women that's sucking it from the back, cooking for you, cleaning for you, paying your bills, sucking your toes, rubbing your toes, helping your mama out with her. Y'all cheat on women that do everything for you. So of course you're gonna cheat on me. I'm not sucking dick. I would rather staple my own cooter mama shut and then tase it. You have a better chance of licking a gas station pump at a Wawa's than sucking dick in 2022. Don't do it. Don't fucking.
Now, ladies in the chat, and in the comments, did she lie? Because I don't feel like she did. You see what I be talking about, that fear-mongering thing that they do? It's a manipulation tactic, okay? These men, they always trying to get their way. And so they try to place fear and scarcity into your mind so that they can get you to do what they wouldn't do if they were in your shoes, because they know it would put them at high risk for, I don't know, a sexually transmitted disease. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to me. I just don't understand, what she said that was so wrong. This woman is going viral for that. She is going viral for it. And I'm just like, well, what is the problem? I don't like, I wouldn't want to be out here just putting everything in my mouth either. And I'm like, whatever happened to men wanting women with standards, sir? Like, you want your daughter out here doing that? You want your mama out here doing that, just sucking everything that she come into contact with? That is crazy to me. She ain't lie. She ain't lie one time. Like, why would we? It's 2022. You got people out here doing all types of stuff. Like, why would I want to do that? I just don't understand. And I've done it. I've declined giving, I've declined it because I'm just like, sir, like, I don't know where you've been. I don't know what you've been doing and who you've been doing it with. But let me get your paperwork though. And then, and that's the thing. You ask these men for paperwork. Don't play with me. I ask men for paperwork every single time. Okay. You're not dipping in this ocean without your paperwork, sir. Okay. So if you don't have your paperwork, well, I guess You can't go to the beach because that's just how I am. And I don't vote on it. If you don't show me the paperwork, I want to know where you went to, when you went. I want to see your paperwork. I do not play about that. I don't play about that. And even after I get the paperwork, I'm still on my P's and my Q's. Don't play with me. Like, these men act like you just supposed to just do whatever, whenever, just because they want you to. And then they're not out here giving proper orgasms. That's another thing. Can we talk about that? To the women that are out here, okay, stop lying to these men. Please stop doing it. You know they didn't give you an orgasm, so why are you faking it? Stop faking it. Be real with yourself, sis. Be real. If you didn't have an orgasm, you just didn't have one. Don't fake it. What you faking it for? That's why these men be walking around with their head all big and then be talking to another girl behind your back saying, yeah, because, you know, the last girl, she said I laid it down. You know, she was chasing behind me. She was doing all this. And I'm just like, and then you go and you get with them and it's trash. And you just be like, really? I could have used my V8 for this. I could have used my magic wand for this. I could have put my magic wand on the charger and would have had a way better time than this. Have me sitting up here wasting my time like this. I could have went home. I don't understand. Y'all gotta stop faking it. Stop it. There is too much information out here for these men to get educated on to do better. And they not gonna do better if you keep feeding into their ego. And then their ego is so big. They are just like so taken back by no, I did not have an orgasm. I just didn't. Try better next time. And then, you know what, another thing is, I don't know if I was listening to Shan Booty here. I was listening to her podcast, right? And she was talking about how men be knowing they not that good in bed, but their ego won't allow them to go and get educated. And I said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense to me, because these men know they don't have their ish together. And instead of them going and getting it together, their ego won't allow them to get their life together. So I'm just like, of course that would translate over into this sexual space that you try to share with them, right? But you have a horrible experience. I just don't understand that. So yeah, stop lying to these men. Tell them it ain't it. And ask for their paperwork. And if they want to be difficult about it, I'm like, well, listen. You could go get you a call girl. She'll do it. She'll do it with a condom. I'm not doing none of that. I'm sorry. Call me bougie. It is what it is. It ain't. And I'm telling you, if a man want to sleep with you that damn bad, he gonna go and he gonna get that paperwork, period. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Ain't nothing else to talk about. He really want to have sex with you, he gonna go get that paperwork. He is going to go get that paperwork. I'm celibate right now, but the last time I had a sexual engagement, after I wrapped that up, you know, re-wrap things up, right? I went and got tested. My paperwork is in my filing cabinet. If somebody wanted to ask me, well, do you have paperwork? Of course I do. I stay up to date on my paperwork. So if you really want to have something with me, I'm gonna need you to go get that paperwork. It's just that simple. I don't play about that. I want to know where you went, who you saw, what all testing did you get done? I want to look at it. And if I can't look at it, well, I guess we don't have nothing going on. It's that simple. Shoot, that's crazy. I'm not out here. I ain't been out here since springtime. It's not worth it. Like, I'm tired of that. Go get the paperwork. And then I just feel like nowadays with the whole just putting penises in your mouth, it's just very high risk, sis. I just if he want the penis in the mouth, then then get committed then, or go to somebody else. You know, like it do not bother me for a man to go out here and get somebody else. It don't bother me at all. Not one bit, not even in the slightest. I don't feel no type of way. I don't. I'm like, well, go to her then. Go to her. You know what? I'll actually, you know what? It's to the point where, you know what? I'm to the point where I don't care so much. You know what? I'll pay for you to go. Go see her. How much you charge? $20? $20? Okay, I'll pay the $20 so you can leave me the hell alone, because nobody wants to put your thing in her mouth, and then you had your thing in somebody else. Who is doing that, and why? Why? That is ridiculous. So yeah, go to her. I ain't tripping about that. And then when you go to her and you do what you do, this is why pick-me's, they're needed. They are, yes, y'all. Pick-me's are needed in the world. That's why I'm not a pick-me. I'm not a pick-me, because guess what? I ain't raising no man. I ain't taking care of no man. I'm not having sex with no man that I don't see a future. I ain't doing it. So you go to the pick-me, get your little nut off, then come with me. Then come take me out to dinner. Yeah. Come take me out to dinner. Because that's exactly what I'm gonna say. And you think I'm mad that you went and got your little penis wet with old girl? Oh no, I'm not mad. Listen, she get that and I get dinner. Okay? She get that, and I'm not tripping about that. That's why I'm like, pick-me's are needed, because I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not picking up after no man, I'm not giving no head, I'm not doing none of that. You go to her and then you take me out to dinner. I'll see you at 6:30. Okay, that is how this works. I'm not doing that. You know, these are commitment lips. See, these are commitment lips. They're commitment lips. That's why I keep them glossy, because they're commitment lips. Okay, they need to get it together. I'm like, that's the only way it's gonna go down. Commitment lips. You got women out here that have I don't know, call girl lips. You got women out here that got stripper lips. You got women out here that just have, you know, whole lips and stuff like that. I don't judge, but it is what it is. You got girls out here that got the pick-me lips. I got the commitment lips. So that's the only type of lips I got out here. I don't know about y'all, but it's just not happening. Not in this climate. I mean, it's like the 70s. And then that's another thing, is that some of these older women try to judge younger women. I'm like, girl, my grandmama, she told me all about the 70s, the swing party, the swinger parties and all of that. So don't sit up here and try to judge younger women, because y'all was out here doing the same thing back in the 70s. So but I just have my standards, and my standards are commitment lips. So that's the only way it's gonna happen. If it ain't happening, then I guess it ain't happening. I can't do it, y'all. I just not in this climate. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And a lot of these men are gonna try to persuade you. Oh, I ain't been with nobody. Where's your paperwork, sir? Get the paperwork if you don't get nothing else. So that's all I gotta say on that situation. And why are they dragging this girl? I'm like, what did she say that was so terrible? And you know, there were men in the comment section talking about she gonna die alone. I said she gonna die healthy then. She not gonna die. You know what I mean? What is going on? The moral compass is backwards. It just is. And I'm telling you, if you want to change how this world is, I'm gonna tell you, it's real simple. If feminines want to gain back control, it don't matter if you're male or female. If you are a feminine and you want to gain back control, limit your access. It's really that simple. And I'm not just talking about sex. Limit your access. Limit access to your energy. Limit access to your time. Limit access to your space. Limit. That's all I'm saying. Just limit it. And I'm telling you, you can easily take your power back. I've done it. I don't know how many times. You want to take your power back, you limit access. That is how you do it. And I guarantee you, men start humming a different tune when you limit your access. It's just like not answering the phone, texting back when you get a chance, instead of feeling like you got to stop what you're doing to text them back. You know, not answering the phone call right away because I don't know, maybe you carrying groceries up some stairs. You know what? I'm going to just call them back when I get a chance until I sit down. Limit your access. That's how you take your power back. So on that note, I'm about to log out. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night. I think it's crazy how people were saying that she gonna die alone because she has this standard. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Night, and I will see you guys in my next one. I'm going to be doing a reaction video to a man that went viral. I think Choice TV did a video. I think Mademoiselle or the Mademoiselle did a video about this black man blaming black women for why there are down low bisexual black men in the community. But you know what? I'm bringing my receipts. So I'm going to share that with y'all. I'm bringing my receipts because I found it interesting that today I came across this video of this rapper. Let me see what his name is so I can pull it up. Admitting that he's into trans women, he's bisexual. Chicago rapper Lil Wop. He says that he is coming out as bisexual. He is saying that he likes transgenders and feminine men. Y'all should see the comments. Y'all should see how people are dragging this man, and they're mainly men because it's on the page called Say Cheese TV. Ain't nothing but men in this comment section dragging this man for his truth. So I want to talk about that, and I have not watched the video of. Somebody said Lil Who. I did not watch the video of this black male that made this video blaming black women. But I just find it interesting that all these men are in the comments dragging this man for him just being honest about what he liked. So make sure y'all tune in for that. I will see you guys in my next one. And you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Also, I will be uploading on my spiritual tier. I will be doing a collective reading. I will try to have that up by tomorrow's Friday. I would say either Saturday or Sunday because I wanted to use this full moon energy. So I'll see you guys, and you guys have a lovely night. Bye.